maybe a little sooner with the assistance would have been nice. Anybody else?
I wasn't expecting to hit you so hard.
In Dwarven, just be like, I know it's blade down, but there's something else, correct?
He twisted their minds, and somehow he convinced them to strike down our women and our children.
You know, I took out my daggers, right? I hit a pose, you know, because you always got to do a pose, right?
The air is filled with a sudden scream.
I'm just gonna fucking Eldritch Blast him. Just immediately.
I'm sprinting that dude's
Fuck
direction.
that guy, dude. Fuck him.
Fuck his message.
Yeah, fuck his message.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Songs from the Abyss. I am your Dungeon Master, aka your daddy mommy, alongside some of my bestest, most wonderful friends. It is, including Devin, Brevin, the dude.
Sup.
We also have the man who is leaving on a jet plane and never coming back. It is Garrick.
Please don't say that. I already have someone.
No, don't.
Oh my bad.
What's going on right now?
That was not the way that I was meaning it. I'm sorry.
They defunded aircraft
timing of that is
safety.
terrible.
They're falling out of the sky, guys. I don't want to fly.
The man who is leaving and coming back very safely.
Very safely, very soon. I have to fly on the return trip. I don't want to.
Garrick's afraid of flying.
Dude, no, I'm afraid
don't blame him.
I'm afraid of flying right now. I'm actually not afraid of flying. I'm just currently afraid of flying.
That's fair. Hey, I you know what? Never mind. We're not gonna get into it. We also have our baby boy. It is DJ Simpix.
What it do, baby?
What to do, baby? We also have
Hear
our
me?
bestest of best friends. It is Pub Master Drax, aka Sam.
You heard me?
Just for the record, I'm also terrified of flying, so yeah.
I love flying.
Yeah,
dude.
you hear me?
You guys are crazy.
I love flying.
I love
Nope,
flying, bro.
nope.
Love that
Nope.
shit. I can't
Nope.
right now because I go into an
Shit.
airport. They're gonna be like, "Get your fat ass on the ground, MS-13." I'm done for it. Like I'm done for it. Bro.
Yeah,
Like,
that shit that just happened like in San Diego, too close, too close.
Yeah,
No,
man.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Send me to Nicaragua, dude. Like, just get it over with, man. I'm
fine, dude.
telling you.
I'm good. I'm good, bro. I'm good.
We also have our Irish Thai peanut. It's Xander.
Oh, it's a little too spicy for you.
You want the chili? Oh man, boys, I am glad that we are back because we have a lovely new episode for all of you guys at home, and we've been gone for the past couple of weeks. It has been quite a time. Some housekeeping for all of you. Do not forget, we are having Summer Game Fest, our live reaction, on June 6th. That is a couple weeks away as of this going live for all of you at home. We will be doing our live reactions for that entire presentation up to the post stuff, which is usually where we cut off at, because that's like Day of the Devs presentation after that. So we will be live on youtube.com/goodkrakenpods at 2 p.m. Pacific time. We'll probably be live technically at like 1:45 because we like to come in early, get ourselves settled, and all this other good, wonderful jazz. So you guys can come in, join us, have some fun. It'll be a great, wonderful day because we love video game events like Summer Game Fest, like Game Awards. We get to hang out with all of you guys for a few hours and just have a good time. Just enjoy the video game love. You know what I'm saying? Because we all love ourselves. The fucking video games, that's right. And then, of course, we are going to have a decent schedule for D&D going into the next month. We should be okay. None of us really have like a bunch of crazy trips planned or anything until we get to the end of June going into July. Then we're going to be rolling into our halfway point of the year where we all start taking rotating week-long vacations, which we have agreed for the most part. We will still be doing D&D on Saturdays. We'll just be taking the rest of the week off for content until Devin has to potentially leave on tour. Then we'll be taking a couple weeks off for me to be able to kind of get things ready to go for the remainder of our campaign. I'll be taking that couple of weeks to get things prepared for these fools to take it on, if you if you will. So we'll have a good time for you guys. And then lastly, we have a bunch of new episodes of content that are out this week. By the time that you guys hear this going live, we will have a new episode of not Splash Jams, the Shipwreck Show, where we talk about a lot of political shit. Jesus Christ, it was one hell of an episode. And then
real angry.
Good Kraken Death Ratio, where these wonderful dudes got to talk about Marathon and Bungie, along with Xander, who I did not know was going to be on that episode, and then even more so Sam, who I really did not know he was going to be on that episode. Crazy surprises.
Killing it without you, man.
Well, I mean, you guys had a 2-hour long fucking episode, so like, let's see.
It was well worth it.
Sure.
We talked about a lot.
You guys did. You guys covered a lot of bases, including third. And then we also have our newest episode of 20,000
That's
Films.
a sports ball reference.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Xander. Thank you. 20,000 Films Under the
I
Sea.
know sports.
Me and DJ did our official review of Mission Impossible: The Final Reckoning. Go watch that before
Is
you
it
go.
the final? Is it the
see-
final though?
Arguably, yeah. Arguably, like they left it in a weird way where like they could pick it up in like 10 years. You know what I mean?
Like franchise bullshit, some franchise.
Like potentially a reboot or some bullshit like that. But please watch our episode before you go see it in the theaters because.
Are you trying to say that like Tom Cruise is like his own Wolverine? Like he's just gonna be doing this shit till he's 90?
Do this till he's 90.
Yeah, till he's fucking 90.
I don't think that me and DJ kind of talked about it. We were like, we could see them like rebooting it in 10 years when like Tom Cruise is like, oh, now there needs to be a new Ethan Hunt and like he has to train a new guy or something.
Dude, they set up for another movie. They set it up open ended little things for another
fucking
movie.
Open ended.
I
like,
swear,
fucking
No,
swear.
it's gonna
like,
be my son,
It was
Mike.
fucked up, bro.
yeah,
If it makes me money, I can't let it die.
Exactly, my friend.
Okay.
Unfortunately,
Got it.
and speaking of making money, we do not. So we are going to move into our official session 13. Actually, technically, I think it's 14.
I'm sure it's 14.
It's 14. Session 14, gentlemen. Yes, we can kind of kick things off from here. So during your guys' last session, you all ventured forth to Umbridge Hill, where the ghosts of King Throgris and his kingdom's folk awaited to be passed on. Jackal performed the dwarven ritual to help them find peace, but before being sent, Throgris took a moment to return the favor by filling you in on the danger that sent them to their perilous ends in the first place. An enigmatic being known as Ormyth the Starbringer, who came to Throgris' throne hundreds of years ago asking for help in building some kind of gateway in trade for an endless slew of gold that Ormyth seemed to possess. The Dwarven King expressed his hastily regret. Expresses hastily regret in accepting the offer as the riches and abundance quickly began to change the people under his kingship when greed weighed heavy on their heads. He explained that as construction of the gate came nearing completion, Throgris came to Ormyth to call off the deal, and in response, the Starbringer somehow took control of all the dwarven men of Phandalin and tricked them into killing their own women and children, before turning on each other. All while Throgris watched in horror. The king begged Ormyth to stop and leave, but he refused, striking Throgris down at his throne and then disappearing into history. Throgris explains that the strange occurrences around Phandalin and the Sword Coast are all pointing towards Ormyth, that he needs to be stopped. He then passes into the Vale of Life and Death, but not before asking you all to bring Ormyth to an end before something worse comes to be. You then make your way back to Phandalin and at the Stonehill Inn, bringing Pip and Gilly safely back to Toblin, and giving you all a moment to breathe after this last adventure. That is until a scream is heard from outside of the inn, where a pike is found holding up the head of a man. in the town square, and next to it, a hooded creature with a message for the town. The creature drops the scroll in his hand, and as it catches the flame before revealing 2 swords underneath his fur cloak, Leon and Cloud leap into attack. Before we finally kick things off, Jackal, today you have heroic inspiration, my friend. So we will have you
Heroicism.
with a inspiration, a heroic die, if you will, allowing you to choose one roll at advantage for today's session and only today's session, my good sir. Leon and Cloud, what I need for both of you to start things out here with is to please roll me D20s to hit.
Any modifiers?
It'll be a usual attack, so whatever you're choosing to attack with, you will add your modifier for whatever that attack is.
If I remembered last time, I was attacking with Eldritch Blast, right?
Correct, yes.
Okay, so I just rolled 18. So that'll be with a +6, I believe. Yeah. Yeah, +6, so 24.
Okay.
I also rolled a 24 total.
Sweet. Okay. Leon, your hand lights up with that purple glow, and as the creature before all of you sort of pulls out his swords and goes to speak his last words, you let off this blast flying towards the creature, and you can see the beam strike through his torso, going through his back. And Cloud leaps into the air, and with claws about, Cloud, are you striking him with a fist, or are you clawing him? How are you going about
We're
this?
going just with fists on this one, so blunt damage.
Awesome. So your claws reach out, and as you're flying in the air, they form into a fist, and you fly towards his head, striking him straight in the middle of his face. He goes falling backwards, rolling back 10 feet, 11 feet, 12 feet, rolling and rolling and rolling as his body sort of flips into the air like a rag doll. He lands with a dust of cloud pluming around his body. Leon and Cloud, what do you do next?
I'm gonna Cloud's up closer to him. Is he dead?
Yeah, is he dead?
Cloud and Leon, you both sort of suspend in time, and when you do, you can see this body sort of twitching on the ground slowly and assuredly. He doesn't seem to move his appendages, but he is sort of twitching and seizing on the ground, not in the same way that Moonwind was when experiencing the event, but he's twitching and moving as if very seriously injured.
Can we help him?
Fuck no.
Could you?
I'm gonna walk.
this guy up
I'm
and
gonna
give
walk over. I'm gonna kick his swords away from his body, and then I'm gonna grab him. Why are you here?
Could
Holding it in the back of his head.
Leon, Cloud, and Boris, because Moonwind and Jackal are still inside, could the three of you
We're
please
disposed right now.
roll me perception checks?
I got 15 total.
Cloud,
13 total for me.
Boris.
You can just tell me what the face of God looks like because I got a 26.
Well, God is a woman. So Boris, you're sort of still standing here, just outside of Stonehill Inn, and as you kind of see Leon and Cloud standing with this body, Leon holding it up with one arm at the collar, you can see that the creature's body is sort of just mangled and not really reacting to being held up. But more importantly, what you notice is the people of Phandalin standing at the outskirts of the town square are all looking at all of you in horror, almost mortified, like they're more scared of you guys than they are this creature. What do you do?
I'm gonna let Leon do his thing.
Leon, Cloud, what do you two do?
I obviously feel the presence of the township. Isn't it nighttime?
It is, yes.
Okay. I'm gonna look at Cloud, and I'm just gonna say, I think it's time we clean this up and we inspect why this person was here.
Pull down the. I'm going to remove the pike from the ground with the head on it, and disassemble it. And then double check if he's dead again.
Leon, how
Wait,
would
so
you
it's
like to do
like-
that?
Like I'm physically speaking to Leon. Like double check to make sure is he dead?
Yeah, I'm just gonna check for a pulse because you said it was moving, right?
Yes, he's twitching.
Stop resisting.
Okay.
Eldritch Blast.
Baldur's Gate PD, stop resisting.
All right. I assume you want me to roll for.
He's got a mage hand.
Give me a medicine check, please. Yes.
15 total as well.
15. So, Leon, you go and you move one hand up to his neck, and there, placed on the side of his neck, you can feel a faint heartbeat. It's there, but it's real slow. You're not necessarily completely privy to counting heartbeats or anything like that, but you can still tell that it is vaguely there, but you can tell it's slowing down as you're holding it.
Is there a hospital nearby? Have any sort of healing?
The town of Phandalin does not have a hospital, no. You guys do have a couple of healing potions between you, though.
All right. We removed weapons from him. Boris.
Yes, Boris, yes.
There was a man that was dead, and then there was a woman there too. That's why he was pulling the swords.
No. He had his swords underneath his cloak.
But there, like, we heard a scream of somebody. Is that person like close by?
You could
Like,
assume that
there-
it was just the townspeople in reaction.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I
Just
assumed
seeing
it was a
the-
reaction to the pike, I guess, falling with the head, like someone saw
Okay,
the severed head.
Mhm.
Okay.
Leon, continue.
Details matter.
Is how far away is Boris?
Probably 30 feet, I'd say.
Boris, do you have any berries?
I mean, yeah, I do, but like, I'm not giving this fucking thing any of my berries. These are my berries.
Why are we trying to save him in the damn first place?
Yeah, didn't you attack him? Like, what the fuck?
I wasn't expecting to kill him. I'm gonna look at Cloud. I was
You
like,
know, he was
I wasn't
probably
expecting
already.
him to die this fast. I mean, look at all the other people and things that fought us. This wasn't.
Yeah, is it a chance it was dead in the first place?
It's possible. Let's clean this up and let's just see if we can find anything.
Can we
on
check
the
for
body.
magic on the body?
Yeah, I could cast a spell and detect magic by chance. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. Can absolutely do that. I don't think your detect magic needs you to roll for anything, if I'm remember it correctly, right?
It's it's just on myself, and it's a 30-foot spherical radius.
Perfect. Yeah. So Leon, you sort of raise your hand up, and in a sort of formation with your fingers, you sort of wave your hand underneath, and in that you can sort of feel this sense of not emptiness, but blankness, like a painting that hasn't been painted yet, a canvas that is blank before you, telling you that no, there's no magic here. There's not anything of note present within your vicinity right now.
I'm gonna look at Cloud and just be like, I don't detect any malicious magics in any way. My gut instinct tells me that this was an assassin that was not good at his job.
Uh,
Let
Boris,
the
could
damn thing die then.
Boris, could you roll me one more perception check, please?
That's an 18.
So, Boris, you're kind of seeing this play out from a good few yards away from Cloud and Leon, and you're sort of looking at the townspeople who are mortified seeing what they're seeing, and then you're looking back at Leon and Cloud, and to you, you can't hear this conversation that they're having because they're just far enough away from you that you can't really make out what's being said. You can hear some murmuring and talking back and forth, but to you and to the townspeople, you're sort of seeing Leon and Cloud talking back and forth as Leon is just sort of shaking this body that's in his hand and wiggling it and moving it around. And Leon and Cloud are sort of talking back and forth erratically, and he's just sort of holding this body in his hand like a rat, like an
jostling
old
this guy?
stuffed animal, just
We were
shaking
doing
it.
that.
And you can see as this conversation is moving forward, the people are becoming more and more uncomfortable watching them sort of just swing this body around as they're talking back and forth.
Hey,
Okay, I didn't say
Hey.
we were doing that. I
Hey.
said to clean it up. We were cleaning it up, actually. I didn't say I was shaking a body around like that or
No,
anything like that.
I know you did not, but that is not your
That's what it looks like.
perception. That's what it looks
like.
like.
put him
Boris,
put him
like-
down and go inside. We'll clean it up in the morning.
Mom, what is he doing to that body? Hey man, what the fuck, dude? Just being here with that motherfucker.
Just straight up, just like fucking
Me
Christian Bale
personally-
Batman.
No,
Yeah.
Rub his dick and twist it.
We'll just,
I'm gonna
Where's the money,
set the body
Lebowski?
down. I'm gonna see if I
Where's the
can
money?
find any. I want to search the body and see if there's any clues onto why he was even there.
Do you
I'm going inside. I'm going inside and I'm cooking the fucking food.
Okay.
No.
Leon, if you could give me a perception check, and Cloud, if you could give me a perception check, please.
21 total.
Okay.
Also a 21. I rolled a 16 plus 5.
Okay.
Yeah, I got a
So
18 plus 3.
So Leon, you're sort of patting down the creature's body and like pulling its pockets open from its coats and its pants and everything that you can sort of try to reach and find. And you can't really find anything indicating where he's from, why he's here. There's no other items seemingly on him. And Cloud, as you sort of see Leon rummaging through his body, you start looking over at the townspeople, and you can now also see the sort of horror on their faces. And you look back at Leon, and you look back at the crowd, and when you do, you can hear someone saying, "Oh, that's global." And another child is like, "No, not global." And another man is like, "Why are they doing that?" And another woman is saying, "Oh my God, why does this keep happening here?" What do you two do?
I just honestly,
I'm
I'm
just
not even
gonna
going to engage.
I'm just
I'm just
gonna
not.
lean to Leon and be like, who the fuck is Global?
I do not know. He killed a man and he drew swords on us. That is all I know.
To be fair, we don't know that he killed anyone, but we can confirm that he drew swords on us. But we may have made a mistake here.
Perhaps.
What's done is done.
And Boris sort of starts to trudge inside of Stonehill Inn, and Leon and Cloud, you both sort of turn to start making your way back to the inn as well. And you can see Moonwind and Jackal both sort of like stumbling, leaning against the frame of the door as they're both trying to like get out at the same time. And you can see them sort of like falling into each other, and they can't really make. And Toblin is just holding them by the back of their pants, keeping them from walking too far away. And Toblin sees the two of you kind of approaching with this creature in stow. And Toblin,
I thought we left the body.
that's up to you guys. Do you guys leave it there, or do you drag it with you?
I dropped it. I put it back on the ground when I was searching it. That's
Okay.
what I said.
It has a name.
I don't really know that.
Global.
So you two approach back to the inn, and
Global.
Toblin sort of scooches Moonwind and Jackal to the side, and you two kind of approach inward. And when you do, Toblin sort of like pulls Moonwind and Jackal off just away from the door and slams the door shut. And he turns back over to Leon and Cloud, and he says, "That was Global."
Global.
Everybody
drew
keeps saying
sword.
that, but are you going to explain the who the hell or what it was?
Oh, fuck yeah. I forget sometimes you guys are not from here. Global is our sort of town message boy.
Oh fuck! You guys took out Global. God, I liked him, man. Fuck. Toki, give me another shot, man.
Toblin
For
turns
Global.
towards Jackal and he says, "Don't fucking play. You hardly like the fucking guy, okay?"
I like him now. Another shot for
To
him.
be fair, he's
You know
not
what?
dead yet, but
Another
he is
shot for
dying
him.
in the street currently.
That's more of a reason to celebrate his death as he lived. You know what I'm saying? You just give me another one. Give me one more. I promise. Promise one
Goblin,
more.
please explain to me what sort of messenger boy
One more, man.
brings messages with swords out and heads on pikes.
Moonwind wants more. I know he does. Moonwind.
Jackal, shut the fuck up, lad. It's hard to explain, boys. Global,
For Global.
he's an orphaned goblin that was hired by the townspeople to get messages back and forth between here and the different clans that lie around the mountains of the Sword Coast. He's a little bit eccentric for sure, and he doesn't necessarily know how to send a message correctly, if you will, but he gets the point across, I guess.
Oh, shite. Are
Well,
you saying
whatever-
they just committed a hate crime?
Well, whatever message he was trying to get across, he drew swords. There was a pike with a man's head on it, and he just, when we asked what was going on, he brought out a message, didn't say anything, and then it burned up into flames.
Are you sure he drew the swords, or did you just see them?
I saw him pull his swords out, but who knows what that could have been for, you know? I guess,
I mean,
listen.
what if he was trying to sell you kitchen knives?
Oh, fucking
No,
hell,
that happened to me before.
Jackal.
I'm
lad.
going to
I do
ignore
think Boris could
what
use
was just
some
said.
knives.
That's what
and
I'm
I'm
saying,
going
man.
to go over. I'm going to pour myself a pint of mead, and then I'm going to look at everybody, and I'm not going to say anything. I'm just going to go upstairs.
And
Man, where you
Toblin
going?
looks
gotta drink
over.
for Global.
to Cloud and he says, "The people here know me. I'll go out. I'll collect Global's body. I'll take care of it. Just, you'll go lie low for a fucking minute before these people end up stoning you to fucking death or something. I'll be right back. Make sure Moonwind
Wait.
and Jackal don't do something embarrassing."
You're doing a speech? I could give a speech. Don't worry. I
No,
can tell
no
talk to people.
speeches,
I got
lad. Get your
great public
fucking goal
relations
back up
skills.
there, you silly cunt.
Oblin, where do
My
you keep the
resume.
stronger stuff?
And Toblin walks out the front door, slamming it behind him. Boris and Cloud, what are you two doing? Let's start with Cloud.
I am going to pour Jackal another drink, so he's literally just too preoccupied to go anywhere else.
Pour him a drink. Okay. Yeah, so you, Cloud, you kind of roll back up to the big barrel that's sort of in the kitchen area, where a bunch of the mead is for you to sort of pour into a glass. And you pour it in, and you sort of look, and you take a quick swig yourself, and then refill what you just drank, and then bring it back out again. Boris, what about you? What are you doing?
Cooking.
So Boris, yeah. So you're still over into the kitchen. You went right back to the ribs, huh?
Goddamn right I did. I gotta feed these dorks. Okay.
Okay. So Boris, you're back in the kitchen. You just kind of put your chef's hat back on and up, and you start pulling back in again. Cloud, what are you doing now?
I'll pass Jackal his new drink, and then I am just going to go kind of sit near the door, to stop them, to discourage them from wanting to go near said door, and then I'm just going to mumble to myself, "What sort of asshole draws swords to send a message?"
And
Can I?
Jackal, yeah, go ahead.
Jackal overhears. Hey man, maybe that's like his go-to.
Is there a stool
opener.
nearby within reach of me right now? Currently,
Yes.
I'm throwing it at him
I take a
in his
take a
general
sip.
direction.
As I take
now.
a sip of the new drink. No.
I'm throwing
I
a
take a
stool
sip
at
of this
him.
new drink, and I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit, man? It's water." And then the stool comes, and I'm like, "Whoa, what the fuck?"
Cloud, could you please roll me a roll to attack?
Improvise
Can I dodge out of this?
weapon.
Can I dodge out of?
That's up to his
You're
roll.
impaired. You're impaired.
I'm assuming no modifiers. Do I add any modifiers?
Let's just say strength. Let's add your strength modifier.
Okay.
I imagined like
Nice.
it would just be DJ rolling a saving throw at disadvantage.
So I got
Dude,
10
I would
total
do
then.
that. I would do that, but it depends.
I'm
You said
sorry,
12.
Cloud. What was that?
A 10 total.
A 10 total.
10 total.
And Jackal, what's your AC?
My AC 15.
Okay.
15er.
Yeah, so Cloud, you go and you chuck the stool over, and Jackal just sort of, out of impulse, just ducks clear out of the way as the stool goes crashing into the wall. And all the pieces of the wooden stool go flying off of the wall, scattering all over the floor. And Jackal stands back up and with sort of glazed, half-closed eyes looks towards you in sort of
throw.
a shock. What do you do, Jackal?
That was a nice throw there, Bobcat.
I'm just going to
just do that.
retort
Jackal
that.
just does this.
I'm just going to retort
Yeah,
at him.
you're,
I don't have a problem with killing people, but I do have a problem with killing people that don't need to be killed. And I will admit we have been going off awfully half-cocked lately.
Hey man, look, maybe Global deserved it, man. I, to be honest, I said earlier I'd like the guy. I'd never really liked the guy. I'll be real, but he was kind of cool. But at the same time, I think he was a dickhead. But that's besides the point. We should drink. You should drink for sure, especially look around at this. I mean, clearly you're tensed up, man. I think you just need to let loose a little bit.
Boris, yes.
Do I overhear any of this happening?
You heard the crash from the stool. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Do I hear any of their conversation at all?
No, not really. It sounds like mumbling from a room across from you, but not quite perfectly
It's
out
mostly
clear or
Jackal.
anything. Yeah.
Okay. Is the food done?
Almost. It's nearing completion. The meat's a pretty big rack of ribs, so it's not going to cook
I mean,
very
you
easy.
can't
But
pretty
you
big
are
rack.
almost
Drunk?
there. Yeah.
All right.
A pretty
I know
big
what
rack,
I
you know
know
what
what
I
I'm
mean.
gonna
Riddle-
do when I start bringing out the food. I know what I'm gonna say.
Riddle
I
me
got
this,
This'll be
Bobcat.
fun.
All right, I know you're big. So do you even get drunk, or do you have like a second liver or something? I don't really know the an animatology of your kind. So I don't you know
Animology.
you know. So do you have like a second stomach? Like you get two hearts or something? I mean, like what do they feed you out there? You said you were in a monastery. I mean, what? Like I don't know. I thought all monks were vegan, whatever that shit is. Um,
Are you
I
done
used to
now,
date a
drunk
monk
man?
once. That reminds me. Yeah, I should send her a carrier pigeon.
I eat food just like everybody else. I eat whatever
But
I
have you ever been to
please.
Waffle Manor?
The interplanar house of pancakes, baby.
They don't have those in the spine of the world.
Yeah, man, that's why you gotta go south, man.
You can
Best
be a
place to
you
eat the
could be a
Waffle
franchise
Manor.
owner, dude.
They've been
You could buy in.
franchising. Yeah, you could buy in, man. You could get some serious gold. That is
I am going to
my
go pour
gem
myself
to
a
you.
drink and chug it immediately.
That's my two pieces of silver for you. You should really get in on that. You could be the first franchisee to open one up in the northern plains. I think it would really really take off out there.
As you two are sort of having this conversation back and forth, Moonwind, who is sort of sitting across from you guys in the main lobby, sort of just with a tankard in hand. And he's relaxing with his head sort of leaned up against the wall, and you guys can see Moonwind kind of just tilt his head downward, looking towards all of you. And Moonwind, what do you do?
There has to be something stronger than mead in this place, huh? And I go searching. I go searching everywhere for something stronger than just mead. I need something hearty. I need something strong. I need something that burns.
There was pig wine or some shit that you found before, like a blood wine.
Everything
only thing
is
that was in
going
there.
arse ways for us, and I just want something to just forget for a night. I'm kind of on Jackal's side of the let's just drink. Let's just drink for one night. Okay, it's been crazy ever since I decided, oh, look at Boris and Jackal. They seem like cool people. I'm going to go ahead and just follow them and see what they're up to. And
Yeah,
apparently
you definitely need to drink a little bit more, brother.
It's nothing but death and destruction everywhere we go. And I just need something to forget for a night.
You know what? I can't forget Waffle Manor, man. Really need that Waffle Manor right
What's
now.
your I have to ask, what's your favorite order from Waffle Manor?
Honestly,
I heard
real.
their
Let's be
eggs
real.
are actually
Is
everyone.
Boris out
Look,
with the food yet?
Not yet, no.
I'm gonna step into the kitchen and literally just grab a piece of meat. I don't give a shit if it's done or not.
everyone likes the all celestial special, but for me, I definitely like the the rothy and eggs potato bowl. I think I like that a lot.
Ooh, that sounds delightful.
Yeah.
And Cloud enters into the kitchen where Boris is, and Cloud sort of stomping his feet. Boris, you can feel him kind of goo, 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 goo coming up behind you. And Cloud with a big just sigh of frustration comes up next to you and just with one claw cuts off one of the ribs and picks it up and looks over at you. And when he does, he puts the meat up to his mouth and throws the bone off into the corner. And Cloud, I need you to roll me a perception check, please.
Wait. Perception. 23.
So as you're sort of standing here next to Boris and finish cleaning off this rib that you were eating there next to him, you kind of look over at him and you notice suddenly that like Boris's skin seems so clean and hasn't, now that you think back on it, hasn't really looked like he's been dirty at all in the past few days that you guys have sort of been on this last trek towards the mining site or anything like that. And through the sort of moonlit gleam coming from the window, you can see that Boris's skin sort of has this not sparkle, but a dust to it. Not dust and dirt and mud or anything like that, but dust has this sort of what looks to be speckles of stars and what you see in the night sky when you look above the mountains. And it reminds you of looking into the night sky back at home in your monastery at the Spine. And it's odd. You've never seen a being with skin that looks so perfect before. And Boris is just sort of rummaging, cooking, doing his thing. He's not paying too much attention to you. And as a matter of fact, he's kind of reaching to the side of you because he's not trying to interrupt you standing there or anything. He's being very polite about this. And you can see that he's not thinking anything of you being there, but it's a strange notice you're having here. What do you do?
I'm just gonna, I guess, in like a sense of awe or at least like shock or surprise, I'm just gonna kind of continue to look at Boris and I'll say, "What in the bloody hell are you then?" I've seen a lot of things. Man, dwarf, tabaxi, goblin, orc. I've never met anybody with skin that glows like the night sky. What are you?
What the fuck are you talking about?
You don't look human to me, friend. You telling me you don't see the glow of your own skin right now?
So you've been drinking
Well-
too, man.
When was the last time I looked in the mirror?
It's arguably quite a long time. Let's go ahead and roll a history check.
My own history check. I got 17.
So you remember that there was maybe a moment in which you were using the restroom the last time you guys were here that you kind of peeked at a mirror, but through your course of journeying here to Phandalin, there wasn't really a lot of mirrors on your way from your village to this township. And now that you think about it, you haven't really seen what you look like in quite a long time. Not since that small inn you had stayed at between here and your village. If even just for the night. And that was really just to get some clothing fixed up and make sure that you're good and ready to go. But yeah, now that you remember, you haven't really seen yourself.
Is the food done?
Yes.
All right.
Uh,
I'm gonna
is there like a wash basin or something nearby I can fill with water?
Not necessarily. There is what could constitute as a well sink. And there are a bunch of pint glasses and stuff next to it from other guests having had been drinking. Before we progress there, though, Moonwind, your hand is up.
This is not Moonwind. This is actually Xander. I want to say I am definitely making a gif of Sam going, "Is the food done?"
Is
That's straight up like
Sure,
bites
sure.
lip, like, is it done? But also, in the vein of Moonwind is literally just finding any and all alcohol and drinking it. I'm getting drunk as fuck today.
We know, brother.
Uh,
Boris,
cool.
go ahead.
So I want to basically like I'm gonna like serve up like plates kind of hastily, and then I'm gonna make an extra one for myself. I'm gonna leave it down there. When I did I hear anything about this this what was his name? Global?
Global.
Did I hear anything about him potentially being like a courier of some kind?
Yeah, you weren't quite in the kitchen yet when that conversation had unfolded. So yes, you did overhear that he was some kind of messenger for the town.
So I'm going to serve. I'm gonna serve like I'm gonna give a plate to Jackal's drunk ass, and then I'm just going to say to him, and just be like, if he was a courier delivering a message, and he pulled swords, was that a part of the message? And then I'm gonna go upstairs so I can go look at my face.
Well, hold on, man. Fuck.
I completely ignore him.
Yeah, he just goes up. I don't like.
Yeah, eat your food.
Fuck.
Now, as Boris is sort of serving out the dishes and starts making his way towards the stairs, Cloud, what are you doing?
I'm following Boris upstairs. I was like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. Where are you going?
Bathroom, washroom, lavatory, latrine.
You're looking for a mirror.
I'm gonna point at him. Chef's hat's off. I'm doing this like I just pulled the hat up. You're fucking right, I am, because I don't know what is going on now. Like this is complete news to me. He just said I have very beautiful skin, and now I'm not sure if he's trying to like fucking dry hump my leg or something.
He's a cat. Maybe he's in heat.
So Boris and Cloud kind of make their way up the stairs, and Cloud, you're like moving at the same pace up the stairs as Boris is, like matching footsteps because you don't want him to know you're following him because you want to see the end result of this. But you're also trying to make sure you don't lose pace so he can't lock you out of the washroom away from him. Moonwind, yes.
I would like to. Do I notice them like both kind of like hurriedly going to the washroom?
Roll me a perception check and roll it at disadvantage.
Yes, sir.
You're drunk.
And I is Jackal's like so like let's say the bar's like right here.
13 is
Like,
the
plate's
lower of
right
the two.
there. Like he's like over it eating like this.
Yeah.
Like you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Fuck, this shit's good.
Wait. Plus two, so lower of the two is 15 total.
Okay. Yeah, Moonwind, you sort of catch it in the corner of your eye. You notice that Boris and Cloud are moving upstairs. And
Okay.
what feels like they're kind of moving with purpose.
Okay. So much like my introduction into this campaign in general, I'm interested. I'm a follow.
So Moonwind goes, careening up the stairs as well, right
I
behind.
take my drink
Cloud.
with me, by the way.
There's a fucking
I take
start
the-
of a new joke, dude. 2 monks and a ranger go to the bathroom.
And Moonwind is now also matching Cloud's sort of pace going up the stairs, who is matching Boris's pace going up the stairs. And Jackal continues to just eat his food in peace downstairs. And Boris, you lead your way up to the top of the stairs, and when you do, you go up to the restroom door, and you're about to grab the handle firmly to place the door open. And if you could, please roll me a perception check.
Dude, I'm really good at perception. That's a 20 total.
20 total, okay.
Mhm.
When you go to place your hand on the door, you recognize that you can kind of hear something coming from a room down the hallway. You're not sure which room, but you're hearing this sort of whisper sound growing from to the left of you, just sort of as you're kind of going, and you can feel your ear twitching, and the sound of multiple people whispering. And you sort of turn your head to kind of see if you can hear it a little bit closer. And Cloud and Moonwind sort of stop right behind you, almost knocking into you as you halt at the restroom door. Cloud and Moonwind, what do you two do?
Do I also hear or recognize any sounds?
Not yet, no.
Likewise, do I notice it? No. I just noticed that Boris stops.
Yeah,
Is
you
what I'm
guys
getting
don't
at.
notice that he's listening to something. You just
Oh,
kind of
I
notice that
guess
he
I will
stopped.
just
Okay.
kind of I'll stop and I'll just kind of. I was like, "What? Is somebody in there already?"
So
Do-
I'm gonna stop, but I'm gonna be like, in my mind, I'm thinking that at some point they might turn around and see that I'm following. So I'm just gonna like stop and then like start looking around at the walls and stuff like that. Like, oh, hey,
Is he
yeah.
not? He's not sneaky at all, right? Like he's just basically like drunk, stumbling.
Correct, yeah.
yeah.
I'm going
much.
to I have my door on the handle, and I'm gonna be like looking down, and or like down the hall, like where the rooms are. And just be like,
Do I?
Moonwind, you should bring food to
Huh?
Leon, and I'm gonna go in the bathroom.
Leon, to answer your
Uh,
question, please let me DM. Boris,
Mhm.
so you enter the restroom,
Yeah.
and this plate of food Moonwind has in his hand, he kind of... Wait, did you hand it to Moonwind or Cloud?
I didn't go up with the plate of food. I'm telling Moonwind because he's not sneaky at all. It's like, you should bring food to Leon, since Leon went up before it was all
Yeah.
done.
Okay. Moonwind, what do you do with that?
Okay, cool. Sounds good. Yeah. And I just stay there until he goes into the bathroom.
Cloud,
'Cause I'm not doing that.
Cloud,
I'm
what,
not.
Cloud, what about you? What are you doing here?
I'm immediately walking. I'm immediately going into the washroom behind him. Like I'm following him in. I was like, we're not done talking about the skin, about whatever that was
Wait a minute.
in the kitchen.
Wait a minute. Do I see Cloud? Because I
You-
feel like
You see Cloud
You're
rush
following
in,
us.
and when Cloud rushes into the restroom, he slams the door behind the two of them, locking Moonwind out of the washroom. But Moonwind, if you could please give me a perception check. But don't roll
I'm
at
still
a
at disadvantage.
disadvantage. Not for
Oh,
this.
okay. Okay. Yeah, because man, we're already with my 9 intelligence. I'm like, are we blossoming romantic relationships already?
That's okay. Wisdom. It's a.
You just did perception. That is a 16 total.
So, Moonwind, you, as you sort of like notice that the door is now closed and you're not going to get in there anytime soon, you feel this creeping crawl move up your spine, and your hairs on the back of your neck start to stand up. And then you now suddenly hear these whispers coming from down the hallway. And it doesn't sound like any sort of real full conversation yet, but you do hear them, and they are sort of growing and then becoming quieter and then becoming louder and then becoming quieter again. What do you do?
Well, of course, I got to move closer to try and figure out what it is I'm hearing. So I'm gonna move closer.
In Moonwind, you sort of slowly move one foot in front of the other, and you move closer and closer to the same door of the room that Jackal was in the last time you guys were here. You move closer to it, and the whispers begin to grow louder and louder, and they start to sort of feel like they're spiraling around you. Do you go to the door, or do you move somewhere else?
Can I discern any words that are being said, or is it just all kind of overlapping? Is it gibberish sounding? What exactly am I hearing? Am I hearing actual words, or?
You can't discern the words, but from what you are sort of hearing around you, it sounds like whispered groans and people telling secrets and wishes and what feels like people in dismay. You can't make out words, but you can feel this tension coming from these voices.
Well, I am a very curious person, and I definitely want to help people. I'm not the most smart, that's for sure, but I want to at least help. I want to at least know what's going on. So I think I'm going to go ahead and open the door.
In Moonwind, you go to place your hand on the handle of the door. And as you go to turn the knob and slowly creak the door open, very quietly, please roll me a stealth check.
It's going to be a 16 total.
You slowly move this door open. What would have been a loud creak is now just as you sort of place your hands, your fingers just enough into the crack to be able to move the door open. Here in this room, you can see from the moonlit glow the silhouette of a man's body, and more sort of upsettingly, uncomfortably, the figure of a smokish creature standing in front of the window. And the whispers now begin to grow into a conversation that you can now hear. And as we go into this, I need Cloud, Jackal, and Boris. I need you guys to leave this D&D chat and go to one of the other rooms.
What? Oh shit.
So you said Cloud,
Jackal, and Boris. I need you guys to leave this room for me, Devin, and Xander to stay in.
Oh shit.
Okie dokie then.
What the fuck?
Leon, when you entered the room earlier on, you ran upstairs and you entered into that top room because you knew that it was not the room that you had stayed in last time. It was this room that Jackal sort of had secretly locked himself away into, and you kind of just need a moment of peace and quiet for yourself after everything that just happened. And you enter this room and you sit down on the bed with your pint in your lap. And when you do, you took one big sip and you put it back down in your lap, and the cold air that you are ever so familiar with begins to swirl around you. You see this smoked figure grow from the floor and morph into the shape of a veiled woman with long stringed hair and beaded white eyes, with a lantern in one hand and the branch of a tree in the other. And she hovers closer towards you, leaning, almost seemingly arching over your body. She's almost nearly to the ceiling in height. And you feel that cold tension creep up your back, again, that you are ever so familiar with. And the entity approaches you and says, "Have you completed yet?"
I still don't know what you want me to do.
You've had your chance.
What chance is that? What am I supposed to be doing? What am I to do?
I don't have to tell you.
You are so difficult.
Don't call me difficult. What does that mean?
You speak in riddles. You speak as if I should know what you need me to do, but you've never once have told me what you desire of me to do.
You should know it because you want it.
I'm just sitting there at the floor. I want many things. How do I know you know exactly what it is that I want?
Because I gave you a gift, and you must repay me.
Tell me what it is that you need payment of.
No. You are a resourceful young man.
That may be true. I still don't even know what I'm doing out here.
Well, maybe you should know. And her tone sort of shifts into this, like, kind of uncomfortable, rousing, almost pretentious tone.
Stop acting like you're my mother or family member. I do not need this from you.
I don't think it's appropriate for me to have to tell you what to do time and time again. You should just know. And her lantern sort of starts to glow in a dark orange and red as she lifts it up towards your face.
I'm gonna look at her. I'm just like, does it have to do with the dragon?
And she lowers the lantern again and says, "You're such a fool, boy. Of course it doesn't have to do with a dragon."
Give me a hint. Come on. Every good puzzle has a hint.
I'm so tired of you asking me when I'm asking you. And she sort of turns away from you. And you can see it not very easily, but through the sort of transformed smoke that is her body, her arms sort of become crossed as she's turned away from you.
You want me to kill somebody, don't you?
And she quickly, in a moment's notice, in a split second, her front of her body sort of morphs into her back, planting her face directly in front of yours, and she says, "Yes."
Who do you want me to kill?
I don't know. Maybe you should know. And then she turns back again, with arms folded.
I guess only time will tell, will it?
And she, like, slowly sort of peeks over her shoulders at you. And if you could please roll me a perception check.
22 total.
When you see her sort of peek over her shoulder, you notice that she's looking back at you almost as if she's trying to see if you're looking at her, to see if you're noticing what she's doing. What do you do?
It's someone here.
And she turns around and says, "I don't know, maybe," and turns back towards the window.
Well, I'm no murderer, so I'm not just gonna go around killing everybody.
And her head sort of slowly turns back towards you, and she says, "You wouldn't kill for me."
Depends who it is. Who am I supposed to... Who is it that you no longer want walking this earth?
And she turns back again quickly with her lantern in her hand, and with her other hand places a finger on your lips and says, "Shh."
Disgusting.
Shh. Do you love me?
I don't.
And when those words leave your lips, you see the two white beads of her eyes begin to sort of flicker. And from them you see two plumes of smoke sort of bustle out the inner corners of those two dots and float into the air, almost like raindrops falling upside down into the sky towards the ceiling. And you hear her sort of whimper. And she says, "Well, I wish you would have just said that."
Listen. You're asking me to kill somebody for you. I do not know who you want. I do not know the reason why. I'm not going to sit here and argue with you like we're trying to order a meal at the local dive.
And she sloops back away from you. She sort of gently hovers back. And her whimpers start to become low, covered cries as she says, "You tricked me."
I didn't trick you into anything. You came at me at a weak point and offered me power. Told me that you would need me to help you at some point, but you, in your cryptid messages, have not even hinted at the fact or reason what you need me to do.
I gave you power because you gave me love.
You came at me at a weak point when I lost my mother.
And she holds her lantern up higher, and within her lantern, you can see a face sort of begin to form in the flame, and she holds it closer to your face, and she says, "This mother." And you can see the face now begin to shape into the face of the woman you once knew as your mom.
I'm going to look at the lantern, and then I'm going to look down, and I'm just going to hold the ring and not say anything.
And the being then pulls the lantern away from you, and she says, "Do it, and do it soon, or I will strip away everything that makes you whole."
I still don't know what you need me to do.
And she says, "I'm so tired of telling you." And then she disappears out of the window. The windows clash open. The glass sort of shakes and cracks across the panels, and her smoke goes gusting out of the room. And when it does, almost as if at the same time, her smoke leaves the window, and Moonwind's foot creaks forward, and you hear as Moonwind almost
look at him.
falls into the doorway.
I'm just looking at him.
Moonwind,
What did you see? What did you see?
I was looking for the washroom. Right.
I'm gonna
Between you and me.
I'm gonna get up. I'm gonna grab him and put him against the wall.
Ooh, if you
Yes.
can both roll me strength checks, please.
Okay. I mean, I'd gladly take it. Giggity. Let's see.
18 total.
19 total.
Damn it.
And as Leon, you go to grab Moonwind and you go to plant him against the wall. And when you do, Moonwind's robes sort of slip out from underneath your fingers, and Moonwind sort of places his hands on your chest to kind of create a distance there.
I'm gonna take a next action into my training. I'm going to then push his arms up and then put my elbow against him like this.
I'm gonna try and dodge that.
Okay, let's have both of you roll d20s again, please. But Moonwind, if you could roll at
Nat
a disadvantage,
20.
please.
Okay. Let me roll my 2. Disadvantage. What was the strength again?
Yes.
I got a nat 20.
Oh, well then, yeah, that trumps mine then.
I was just gonna see
Unless
if
you get one.
Moonwind got a nat 20 as well too. So,
Yeah.
So Leon,
I'm
yeah,
not trying
you,
to hurt him. I just want to say
yes,
that.
correct. You pin Moonwind against the wall, and this time with just enough force to sort of plant him firmly against there. And your arm sort of trudges right up against his collarbone. Moonwind now not necessarily choking, but him being sort of inebriated feels like he is. Moonwind, what do you do?
Listen, all I have to say is I'm on your side, okay? I
Okay,
understand
I'm gonna
it's
back off
very
immediately. I'm gonna back off immediately. I'm sorry.
Listen, I understand. It's very difficult to understand what you're trying to do, and you're not getting clear instruction. What is that anyway? It's women these days. You ask them what they want for dinner, and they're like, "Oh, I don't know. What do you want?" And you're just like, "Just tell me what you want." It's very difficult. Anyway, I think I can help you.
Moonwind. Go sit down. I'm gonna close the door.
Fair enough.
I'm gonna look over. Is there a bottle of mead or wine in this room? Can I look and
You
see
still
if there's one?
still have a majority of your pint of mead, yeah.
But I wanna give him a drink.
Oh no, there is not another one.
No. Okay. All right.
It's okay. I have a flask. I just want
All
to.
right. He's gonna sit
I
down.
was feeling all the alcohol from downstairs.
I'm gonna
I
sit down.
I'm
I'm gonna sit down, and I'm just gonna ask, Moonwind. You don't have to go in such a roundabout way, beating around the bush, if you would say. What did you see, and what did you hear?
You want the whole truth or just part of the truth?
The whole truth, but keep it short.
Well, I heard everything, Boyle. It seems also, just to backtrack real quick, do I have any prior understanding of warlocks?
No.
I feel like
No.
okay.
Yeah, fair enough. I heard everything. And granted, at this point, everything's gone arse ways these days. I'd like to hear your part of the story.
About as much as I could say at this moment, because if you did hear everything, you still don't. You can tell I don't even know what the fuck she wants me to do.
Yeah, that's gotta be aggravating.
Yeah, you tell me about it. Long story
How
short,
old is she?
it's an infathomable amount of time, I can assure you.
She's still probably on the younger side as far as those patrons go.
How do you know what a patron is?
Never mind. That was a side joke. Sorry.
I'm a warlock, Moonwind. I do not have my powers or spell casting from studies or the practice of mystic arts. Although I can learn now, but my powers come from her.
So, wait a minute. Are you a top or bottom?
You want to find out?
And as you two have this conversation, you guys then suddenly hear a knock on the door. Coo, 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 coo.
I'm gonna look at Moonwind and I'll be like, can we have this conversation later? I will fill you in more. But can we keep this between us for right now?
And I just look at Leon and I just give him this kind of like, you know that one guy at the party that he has a heart of gold and he is just so far gone and he's just waiting for City and Color to be played at the party so that everyone can just join arm in arm and sing along together. He just looks at you with that dumb fucking smile and he's just like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna reach my hand out on you. Shall we pact on it?
Is that like a secret handshake?
Just shake my hand, Moonwind, if you agree. All right. I'm gonna take a swig of my mead, and then I'm gonna go to the door.
Bottoms
Sweet.
up.
All right, we can go ahead and start pulling everybody in.
All right, I can do that.
So,
Oh boy.
Boris and Cloud, you guys both sort of look into the mirror of the washroom, and Boris, kind of looking at the mirror, notices that his skin just looks normal. He doesn't notice anything specific about what Cloud was referencing or anything like that. It just looks like his skin. He always felt that he was cleaner than usual, but like he, takes good care of himself for someone who travels out and experiences things. And so Boris kind of looks at the mirror and looks back up towards Cloud. Cloud, what do you do?
Does he still look different to my eyes?
Roll me a perception check.
Uh, 19 total.
So you notice that the sparkles that were once there, the sort of eerie glow of his skin, of stars and Milky Way sky, are no longer there. That it almost seemed like the moonlight itself was sort of applying some sort of effect to his skin to make it seem like there was something there. But yes, you also notice now too that it's gone, but he is strangely clean.
I'll kind of deflate visibly a little bit, and I swear your skin looked like a starry night sky when we were downstairs in the kitchen cooking. Also, I don't know if you've noticed, but we have been on all manner of ridiculous adventure. Bloody, muddy storms, caverns and mines, transported to other realms. Yet you are clean from head to toe, like you have bathed every moment of every day since we've been out. Does that not strike you as odd?
Is there any like mud on like my boot?
Yes.
I'm gonna just take some and just like apply it to like my face and just.
And when you do, you notice that this smear of mud that you've just kind of rubbed across your cheek seems to immediately dry into a sort of dirt floor texture, and then it crumbles away into fallen sand upon Boris's front robes.
I look back in
Shit's
the mirror.
not normal, man.
I'm gonna look back in the mirror.
And Boris, when you do, you can see the mud. It's gone. Your skin is perfectly clean. All of what you just smeared on your face is completely wiped away. There's not even a speckle of sand on your cheek.
What the fuck is going on?
Cloud, what do you do?
This is gonna sound weird, but I think you may need to go inspect your skin under the moonlight.
Because this might be weird, but I think you're hot.
Garrick licks his paw.
No, I did not.
Yeah, I'll go outside and stand in the moonlight.
Moonwind, what was your hand for?
So I just wanted to backtrack real quick. So are Leon and I still in the room, or because you said we heard a knock at the door, right?
We're getting there.
Yes.
Yes. Yes, you guys are
Okay,
still in the
okay,
room.
yeah.
Just to make
So
that
we
very
just
clear.
shifted over to what they're doing.
Correct.
Okay, just to make sure.
Boris and Cloud, you guys both sort of make your way downstairs, and when you do, you kind of see Jackal sort of at the top hallway where you guys just were, is sort of making his way towards the room that he was locked away in the last time you guys were here. And you think nothing of it, as Jackal is probably just going to bed finally and getting some sleep. And you two make your way downstairs out into the front door of Stonehill Inn, and you now notice immediately that everyone that was outside is now gone. So you two are sort of standing out front of the inn alone. What do you do?
Now, Kith.
No, Keith. I mean, did his skin change when we got outside?
Roll me another perception check, please.
17 total.
Yes, you immediately notice a stark difference in the not just tone, but almost color of his skin. Having had been, a sort of light tan colors, now has this sort of undertone of a glowing orange from underneath it. Strange tints of warping colors amongst what looked like stars before are now present underneath those stars, and the moonlight directly shining down on both of you is making them far more prominent this time.
I'll take my gloves off and look at my hands in this lighting.
When you do, you also sort of notice this eerie glow coming from both sides of your hands, and these sort of strange dots placed all across your skin, and you see what Cloud had mentioned, stars, almost in perfect formations of the sky above you, the night moonlit starry sky that you're all so familiar with. What do you do with that?
I'm gonna look at Cloud and I'm just gonna be like, yeah, I'm just complete, we're talking slack jawed, very just surprised, and just be like, what is happening to me?
I would like to know the answer to that as well, because you didn't look like that the other night.
And Boris and Cloud, you both sort of in awe turn your way back towards the door of Stonehill Inn and make your way back upstairs to your guys' rented room. And there at the doorway of Jackal's sort of administered cabin, Jackal stands in the doorway, seeing Leon and Moonwind sitting at the edge of his bed. And Jackal, you see Leon and Moonwind make eye contact with you. And if you could, please roll me a perception check, Jackal. DJ? Please roll me a perception check, sir.
I guess he's inebriated in real life too.
It is not good. It's 7. 7.
Jackal, you sort of look at both Leon and Moonwind, and with glazed, nearly closed eyes already, you sort of just sigh. And you just march up towards your bed, squeezing in between the two of them, and plop down onto your bed, where Leon and Moonwind then stand up, sort of, okay, and then make their way out of the room back to the room that they had stayed in before, where Boris and Cloud are laying on their beds. Yes, Moonwind.
I would like to take a blanket and just kind of tuck Jackal in. just go ahead. Oh. I thought he could handle so much more.
And you sort of give him a little boop boop like on the back,
Mhm.
on his back,
He-
kind of just tuck him in nice and tight.
He
and-
fights like a valiant warrior, but he drinks like a child.
And you make your way back to the room, following Leon a few feet behind, and you all sort of just come to your beds, come to your chairs, and you all sort of look at each other in just almost confused, weary silence as all of you then decide to lean back and close your eyes, resting for the night. Finally. And that is the end of today's session, gentlemen. Thank you, my boys. Thank you, sirs. And I'm excited for this one. This was a fun
There's so many
episode.
questions.
Lots of stuff going on for you guys. And for you guys at home, thank you for coming in and hanging out with us for session 14. Again, I am Ernell, the daddy mommy. And until next time, my friends, be good to each other.
The doodly doo.
Later.
Bye.
You heard me.